All right, well, since this truck's pretty much done for right now, I think I'm gonna work on this. It's a tool cart, because, well, I'm kind of tired of not having a portable tool cart when I'm working from home anyway. So what I've been using is this, and well, it's just a table saw that the motor burned out of. So I took the motor and the blade and everything off of. And these actually, it works really good for just a portable table just around here. I actually have two of them. This one was mine and it burned up. And then I actually found another one in a dumpster and it was burned up too, but they work really good as far as having like a portable table. They're only like 20, 30 pounds maybe when you take all the motor and everything out of them. They're very, very sturdy. And they even have the one in my house, I use in my house when I'm doing construction stuff. I put a piece of plywood on the bottom for a shelf. This one that I use inside my house, I just put a piece of plywood on the bottom for another shelf. And it's actually really handy because it's only like 20 or 30 pounds when there's nothing on it. You can just carry it and put it wherever you need to. So it works out really good. So they are very handy. It doesn't have wheels and it doesn't have any drawers or anything on it. So I got just that cheapy little portable tool cart. I got some of my old top boxes for Craftsman. It's got a bunch of like random stuff in them right now. So these are I'm gonna take these two, put them on the tool cart, drill some holes for screwdrivers and pry bars, and have just a cheap, really, really cheap kind of DIY tool cart. All right, change of plan. I haven't even unboxed that thing yet, but the more that I was looking at those toolboxes over there and having to clean them out and find a new home for all the stuff that was in them, like the more I looked at it, the more I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. So I had this toolbox. It was just in my basement. It had a bunch of odds and ends, like tools and stuff in it for like hanging pictures or doing little odd jobs around the house that the wife wanted me to do. So I cleared it out, and I think it'll work pretty good. It's not going to be quite as many drawers as if I had both those other boxes, but I mean, this is still 10 drawers. And I mean, if you have a tool cart, usually they're like a 5 drawer or something. So I think this will work pretty good. I got this piece up top here to divide. I don't know. So I think I'm just going to use this instead. I'm at the point where I got to make a decision because I want to set my toolbox like down into the top of this, but with this big lip here, you won't be able to use like the bottom 2 drawers. So I'm either going to take this lip and bend it like all the way underneath like that and try and bolt it like to the bottom or lower part of the legs there, or I was thinking about just flipping this whole thing and mounting it upside down like that. That would be easier, but like the toolbox will cover like most of it, like to here, but it's like a 4-inch section here where I can set stuff. And I think I'd rather have like a cubby underneath here, have the toolbox here and have it like up here like that, just so you know, if I set something there, it has something to lean against, that way it don't immediately roll off onto the floor. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. longer board. Oh. Or maybe a workbench. I got the toolbox mounted. I just drilled through the box and just put the screws in the corner there and there. I can't see. And then I put one more screw there just to like solidly mount this box to the cart. Drilled a couple holes in there just to put pry bars in this area here. Gonna put a bunch of heavy stuff down there. Got some tools in it. Got some pliers. One problem that I'm finding out with it is it's actually like tipsy, like backwards. Like if you do this, like it wants to tip back. I put the box all the way, like, you know, on the back there. That way when you open the drawer, it doesn't want to fall forward like normal toolboxes will. If you open, you know, a bunch of drawers at the same time, they can fall forward. Well, I didn't want that to be, or I didn't want this to really want to do that. So I put the box, I mean, it's only just a few inches back, but it's not centered. And it's like, if you like, it really kind of wants to tip backwards. I brought a bunch of my heavy tools like up here on the top, and that seems to have helped a little bit, but I don't know what I'm going to do about that. All right, now it's an $800 tool cart. All right, now it's worth about 8 times as much as it was 5 minutes ago. I am gonna keep adding stuff to this thing, and I'll bring you back and give you a little tour of it whenever I finally figure out what all stuff I'm gonna put in it and where. So right now I got a snap-on toolbox. All right, now the reason I got a snap-on toolbox is last year when the school counselor was like, "What are you gonna do with your life?" And I said, "I'm gonna be a mechanic and I'm gonna make more money than you do." And he said, "That's good." And I said, "That's good." So you're gonna be a mechanic, you're gonna be professional, you gotta have professional tools. And nothing is more professional than Snap-on. So that's what I ended up getting. All right, I had to. Now, this was only $150 a week from the Snap-on man. And well, he told me I can't afford not to get it. And I think I agree. You can't afford not to get this box. So that's what I ended up getting. All right, people pay me to work on their cars and sometimes forklifts. But if you're gonna be a professional like that, you gotta get Snap-on. All right, so here's my box. Now I've been a mechanic for almost 4 months now. All right, professional. So here it is right here. I got pens and pencils. There's my nuts and bolts drawer. This one's empty. Rags. There's my Taco Bell hot sauce drawer. Electrical. This one's empty. Pliers. Wrenches. Now here is where the big money is. That's the money shot right there. Yeah, genuine Snap-on. That's only $60 a week. according to the Snap-on man. So that, here's another Snap-on ratchet. I got that one from the flea market. The guy at the flea market sold it to me for 150 bucks. Now he said that's half price. I was like, shit, all right. So I got that. Like I said, you can't get nothing else. If you're a professional, you can't get nothing else. All right. My buddy, see, his uncle was telling him about somebody that he worked with, and he had a Harbor Freight socket, and he put it on the bolt, and that socket just blew up, just exploded as soon as he started trying to loosen the bolt up. And I was like, huh, I can't have no sockets exploding in my new box, right? So that's why I'm just getting Snap-on, nothing else. Now what's on the bottom of my toolbox is obviously my hammer. You gotta have one of them. You know, I got a soldering iron that that my grandma gave me. So I got that down there. And then, well, I don't really know what this is. All right, what I have for the bottom of the tool cart is this from Harbor Freight. It's supposed to be like an in-drawer power tool holder, but what I'm gonna do is stick it, I don't know which way it goes. But anyway, kind of underneath like that, and have it here and a couple, maybe a drill, 1/2 inch impact and 3/8 impact. I'd like to be able to maybe stick my grinder or something in here and put a little bit of weight right here to keep it from being quite so tipsy. So we'll see how that works. I might need to maybe do some bolting and some welding or something, maybe make it not dance around everywhere. I don't know how sturdy it's gonna be, so let's go ahead and get it together and see how it works. I need pictures. I also need a drill. Perfect, that screw did not tighten up at all. What about this one? Nope. Oh, okay. Well, where do I put the bar? I will put it. I don't know. Put it halfway up. How many holes is there? Well, the instructions didn't tell me what to do. With one self-tapping screw? Oh, okay. Oh, I might need to lower everything down. Because it's... Ooh. I hope I'll be able to get everything out of there. Put it on the bottom. Oh man, that sucks. That'll go there. That will go. Oh, right on the bottom one. All right, got this thing together. Went together really easy, actually. Some of the screws didn't want to tighten up, so that's great. But anyway, the impacts fit in there really nice. They snap in, I mean, nice and solid. It's good. The drill doesn't really want to fit in that great. I don't understand. And you can't, it's like it needs to go down. Like this needs to go down more, but I'm on the bottom. And I could raise this up, but I don't want to because my tool cart, like the bottom shelf's like only like this tall. So like I'm gonna be reaching like in and like pulling it up and out that way anyway. So I want to give myself as much room here as I can. So these are going as far down as I can. I just really wanted these two impacts, a drill, and then maybe something right here. And I'm not going to use those cups, but I was thinking maybe my grinder or Sawzall or something maybe. But there's not enough room for the Sawzall. So maybe just a grinder, but I don't really like how to... Ooh, maybe I could drill that hole out bigger. And that way this part of the drill fits down in there. I might do that. Alright, let's try it now. Much better. Right in there. Nice and secure. Sweet. There it is. It's in there. I think it ought to work pretty good, I think. Like it's just sitting in there, but it's pretty sturdy. It's not real flimsy or anything like that. I just got a box of rags here. I might end up putting maybe some brake clean or something on the back side. But I don't really want to put a whole lot more weight on that back end of the tool cart. So we'll see what happens. I'd still have a little bit of room here. Maybe I can throw like just my grinder or something on there. There's not really a good, like an actual place for it. Maybe it'll, it doesn't really fit. Like in there, something like that, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it seems like it'll work all right for at least these three things. So I got a bunch of weight down in the bottom of the tool cart, and it is better. Like it's not quite as bad, but it is still like, I mean, really, I'm not gonna say tipsy, but like wobbly, like back and forth. So I was kind of looking at it, and I think it's actually the casters themselves, like flexing back and forth that way. I don't know if you can see it. Like this is all loose, and actually the arms and everything are just kind of like flexing and bending like that. And I think that's where like a lot of my problems are coming from, as far as just being unstable. It would probably work, but I'm gonna see if I can make it a little bit more stable. And I was looking, and I don't want to spend a bunch of money on casters because, well, those work still, and that'll kind of end up, it'll start adding up and everything. So I was looking around, and I think I have an idea. So I got this old grill, and I think it'll work pretty good. As far as, you know, I gotta scrap it anyway. So might as well try and take those, either the wheels off of it or maybe this whole bottom plate. I think it's a little bit deeper that way, but that might work in my favor, and just stick that cart on top of it, maybe bolt it to this. I'm not sure, but you know, it's going to the scrapyard anyway, so I might as well see if I can part it out and make that tool cart a little bit more stable. Oh, good Lord. A little rusty. And dirty. Ooh, hey. Yeah, there. Oh boy, it's falling. It's falling off. Oh. I'm gonna stay now. Is it free? Basically. Yeah. There we go. Got it kind of scraped off with a shovel there. Now, let's see if this is taller, or is going to make my tool cart taller. Oh, man. Well, yeah, I think that's basically the same height. Knock the tool cart over if I pushed it any harder. All right, it's basically the same width. It is deeper this way, which is a good thing. So let me unload the tool cart, probably take the wheels off of that and just set that on top of this and see if it's any better, I guess. You can kind of see what I'm talking about with this. Like, it's that and then that, like just a bunch of play. And also the sides were flexing a little bit. Now that might have been the plate actually like bending, but I don't know. I think that will fix all of this. See if it feels any better. Not really. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's a lot better. And even, I mean, it's not gonna be like workbench stable by any means. That is actually a lot better. All right, sweet. Center this thing up and then figure out how I'm gonna attach it, which should be pretty easy, but we'll see. I'm just gonna drill 4 holes, mounting that to the barbecue thing because it only needs 4. I don't think I need 16 of them. All right, I like that a lot better. Oh yeah. I mean, you could tip it over if you really wanted to, but just just like shut my drawer and it gonna like it was. That's a lot better. All right, here's the finished product of the tool cart. I got, I think about 60 or 70 bucks in this entire thing. Now that is not including this top box here, but I had it. It was in my basement, and I was using it for just some extra crap. And it was a nice size, really, and it worked out pretty good. So I don't know how much you would be able to get one of these old toolboxes for. Sometimes you can even get them for free. Like I say, you can even shut the lid on it, and it still don't lock or anything. Like, I don't know. I have no idea how old this thing is, but it's pretty old. And I think you'd be able to, if you started looking, you'd be able to find one of them for pretty cheap. But obviously, hell, you might even get one for free. I'm not sure. But I got this one for free, so I didn't include that in the price. This cart here was 30 bucks. That was on sale at Harbor Freight. I don't know how much they are normally. I think they're only like 40 or so. This down here was also 30 bucks, and that's included in the price of this, but I don't know if I'm keeping that because I want to say, kind of a waste of space. It is nice, but for down here, like, it's not very efficient for what I'm doing, because like I would like to be able to put my Sawzall or a grinder in this area, but you can't because of this bar here. So I'm either going to take this whole thing out and just lay my power tools down in the bottom drawer, or I might end up cutting this and bending this like 90 degrees straight up and down, and have a little cubby here where I can put a Sawzall and a grinder. I'm not sure which one I'm doing yet. But so that was 30 out of the 60 just for that. The bottom section is off that grill. Like I said, it was free, but I mean, you don't need it technically. It does make it a lot better. Like, it's not like it's really stable now. Like, you could slam these, it don't wiggle, nothing. So I'm really happy with the bottom of that. How that came off, really easy to do. Obviously, I just robbed the whole bottom section off of an old grill, and the wider base actually makes it a lot nicer. I was thinking about taking just the regular casters and trying to move them out a little bit, but I mean, I had this base, so I'm not including that in the price of it either, because you could just use the regular casters. Side note, this is turning into a catch-all now, so that's awesome. But anyway, like I said, that made it a lot nicer. That was just kind of a little bonus that I had, because, well, I was looking for some casters and I had that old grill, and I was like, oh sweet, just use that. But got all my sockets up here, 1/2 inch, 3/8, 1/4 inch, some just common ratchets and extensions. I haven't really been using a whole lot of 1/2 inch drive here at my house, so I didn't put a whole lot of the 1/2 inch drive stuff in there. So I got pins, scribes, screwdrivers. A lot of times I'll put my scribes with my screwdrivers, like my pocket screwdrivers, and I could right here, but I don't. I got plenty of room right now, because, well, I got an empty drawer here. Electrical stuff. This will probably end up growing. This might end up spreading into like this drawer too, because I do a lot of electrical stuff. Talk about hot sauce. I got pliers, and I got room for more pliers if I want. I had my ratchet wrenches in here at first, but I usually end up just kind of going straight for the regular combination wrenches before the ratchet wrenches most of the time. So I'd rather have just standard metric, just the regular combination wrenches in here. If I need them, obviously I can just go to my big toolbox. Not a big deal. But I really wanted just the regular combination wrenches in here at first. Plus, it goes all the way up to 1 inch. So that was nice. And actually the metric ratchet wrenches only go to 18. So there's 19 in here, and that's a real common size. It was a struggle getting these wrenches to fit in this drawer. There's a lot of wrenches in here. If you laid them flat, they wouldn't fit at all. These are just the Icon wrenches from Harbor Freight, which I really like, by the way. They're a really nice wrench. But there's the plastic case that they normally come on would not fit. Like, this is the standard one, and it is crammed in there. I had to just cut it to pieces. You can see there ain't much left of it there. I mean, I really cut it down. My GoPro died when I was doing all that, so I don't have any footage of it. But I had to take my little torch here and actually melt like part of it to make it flat, and like right here, like I'd melt that area where it kind of dips up like there. Like I had to melt that and push this flat like to get it to fit. Like it was super close to fitting, and it took a long time in order to finally get this in here, but I think it's worth it because like I said, I go straight for the regular combo wrenches before I do ratchet wrenches 90% of the time. I don't know why, I just kind of do. But the metric ones weren't a problem to fit. Like I did have to cut it down a little bit. Just cut it. I mean, I don't know if you see it. So I just cut the whole bracket thing down, but it fits. I had to turn them backwards, but that's still not that big of a deal. Die grinders and drills and stuff like that. And like I said, I still have some room if I need to put more stuff. Pry bars over here, hammers down there with some rags. So that's this whole cart. Like I said, it's gonna change, just personal preference, whatever I need. If I need to put more stuff in it, take some stuff out, whatever, not a big deal. But there it is, the whole tool cart. Like I said, I got about 60 bucks in it. I might take 30 of it back out, maybe go get my money back on that. I'm not really sure yet, but there it is, little DIY tool cart for you. Like I said, pretty cheap, pretty easy. You could go just buy one for like 150, but I had that toolbox. I figured I'd try it. I'm pretty happy with it so far, but we'll see if I stay happy with it or if I end up just throwing it in the scrap pile. I'm not really sure. Just remember, you got to pick up a wrench so you can put the hammer down. Thanks. Forgot to tell you about this little guy. This is just one of those magnetic things that you got from Harbor Freight. It's pretty stout. Oh geez, I just about fell now. But for just, I don't know, light stuff, I think it'll work pretty good. I just put it on the side there. Yeah, it's not going anywhere now. Got it. Got it. Like it was. That looks like duty. Oh well. Oh, I can't get it out. There we go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Junked. There it is right there. There's the snap-on box. That's the minimum requirements. You gotta have a snap-on box and you gotta have a diesel truck. All right, whenever we got my diesel a couple years ago, I was like, Dad, I need a diesel truck. There's no option. That's just the minimum of what I need. And he was like, son, and he found another one and it was a gas truck. And I was like, I don't need no piece of shit. What happens if I need to haul a backhoe around? Huh? And then we found that my truck was a diesel for the same price. And he was like, son, that truck's got 330,000 miles on it. And I was like, Dad, it's a diesel. It's just getting broke in. I've been driving it every day for the past 3 years. And, I mean, it's been dead nuts reliable. The only thing I've had to do, I had to do brakes, wheel bearings, U-joints, brake lines, ball joints, control arm bushings, window regulator, heater motor, rear brakes, tires, shocks. My buddy, I pulled him out of the ditch and ended up popping a head gasket, but it saved him a tow bill. All right, so we had to get that done. And, well, let's see, what else was there? Oh, there's pitman arm, idler arm, you know, but that gas truck, it would have been, I don't need that. I need a diesel truck. Now, last year when I turned 18, my dad was like, I ain't putting another set in that piece of shit. And I was like, piece of shit, Dad. What happens when you need to haul backhoe? Don't come crying to me, all right? I was like, Dad, my truck gets 28 miles a gallon. You think a gas truck's gonna get that good of gas mileage? Nah. That's what diesels get. They get good gas mileage, they got tons of power. And that's what I needed. That way I can haul my snap-on box around.